Hey guys, ARZEON here. Lately, I've ordered the new BitBoy version 2, which will come in soon and I'll make a video on. But after that, I went checking around for other devices and I actually came across these two, Cool Baby and the Retro FC Plus. These are very popular and very cheap, so I decided to compare/review these two and see which one is for you. Oh, and make sure to watch the video till the end, because the comparison results are quite unexpected. So, let's first check out the Cool Baby. Unboxing it, we are greeted by the actual handheld. After that, we find a nicely wrapped micro-USB cable. Apparently, this device takes a Nokia battery. Nokia batteries are easy to come by, which is great. And last but not least, the user manual. Screen protectors are always welcome. For a $20 device, it looks quite promising, to be honest. Next up is the Retro FC. The handheld comes wrapped quite nicely. Inside, we can see the battery, which is a Nokia battery as well. A lovely user manual. And this one actually comes with an AV cable to plug into your screen. So apparently, this one uses a mini USB as opposed to the micro USB in the Cool Baby. And once again, screen protector. Since I'm a 90s kid, translucent plastic is really great. So, size-wise, these are quite small and will fit into your pockets just fine. The Cool Baby is made out of rigid ABS plastic, and the Retro FC is made out of rigid translucent plastic. Durability-wise, these seem quite well made. For this price point, I'm actually impressed by how well made these are. Both of these units have volume rockers and AV ports, but sadly no audio jacks, so no headphones. Remember, the Retro FC only comes with the AV cable, not the Cool Baby. That being said, the AV quality isn't that great. I think micro USB cables are easier to come by than mini USB cables these days. Both of them have power switches located at the top of the device. Moving on to a very important aspect, which is the input. The Cool Baby's ABXY buttons are actually quite good and responsive. Start and select are nice as well, but sadly the D-pad is mushy and not that great. I also noticed that while pressing down, it actually sometimes registers other directional inputs, which really affects gameplay. The edges on these ABXY buttons are quite sharp and not rounded, but it didn't really bother me. On the other hand, the Retro FC, actually, the buttons are overall just bad and mushy, except for the reset button. This did affect my gameplay quite a lot. I also noticed that the X, Y, and AB buttons are actually connected. Yeah, the casted buttons are actually connected to each other. How the buttons are made actually really didn't make the experience any worse, to be honest.
3, 4.
This actually isn't the case in the Cool Baby, since the buttons are nice and individually pressable. Powering on the devices, you'll notice on the Cool Baby the language selection screen, which actually every time you turn it on, you're greeted by it. While this shouldn't really bother you since it's very cheap. For the rest, the menu has a very similar feel to it. They almost seem identical. They have an identical feel, they sound the same, which I will showcase later on. Let's check the screen quality. The viewing angles on the Cool Baby are quite impressive. On the other hand, compared to it, the Retro FC isn't bad, but not as good as the Cool Baby. But for the price, yeah, it's to be expected. As far as brightness goes and color vibrance, the Cool Baby destroys the Retro FC. The manual tunes are actually the same on both units. Both can get quite loud, but the Retro FC is kind of muddy and not as crisp as the Cool Baby. So let's just check the games out. First of all, I want to check out Mario Bros. 3. It actually runs very smoothly and great on the Cool Baby. There are some occasional screen tears, but it isn't that bad. Playing the game, the buttons feel great, except for the D-pad, which isn't quite as good. It actually is impressive that you can get this package for so cheap, and it actually isn't bad. Next up is the Retro FC. I immediately noticed some glitches and the blank bar on the left of the screen. There's a little more screen tearing, but still insignificant. It is smooth as far as emulation goes, but after using the Cool Baby, this kind of feels underwhelming. The Retro FC has 168 games built into it, but there are many wacky games, this being one of them, which is Super Mario 14 and 6. Whatever those are, these are just crappy reskins. I mean, look at this! That being said, there are some good games on here. But any game with this site URL on it is almost guaranteed to be bad and a modded game. But then you have this traumatic crap from the pits of hell, and the BGM is scarier than any horror score. This is a horrible game where you fight against flying bacon. I mean, I want to clean my eyes with bleach after this. On the other hand, let's just move on to the Cool Baby. It has 129 games, but are just clean ROMs, with some glitches here and there, but overall much better than the 168 load of crap, including some actual good games. In conclusion, I think for the value, these units give you what you pay for, and in the case of the Cool Baby, I think it gives you more than you pay for. This has been ARZEON. Please like, subscribe, and see you in the next video.